10 countries where Americans are unwelcome in 2020. For being an American citizen comes with many privileges, including ease of travel to various parts of the world. However, not every country welcomes U.S. travelers with open arms. Historical conflicts, political disputes, cultural differences, and ongoing security concerns can make some destinations particularly unwelcoming for Americans. Here's a closer look at 10 countries where U.S. citizens might find it challenging to visit or feel less than welcome in 2024. -10. Myanmar, a Southeast Asian nation with nearly 55 million residents, has been in turmoil since a military coup in 2021. Civil unrest, ongoing conflicts, and a deteriorating healthcare system make it unsafe for travelers. The U.S. government advises against visiting Myanmar due to high risks of violence and political instability. Additionally, the visa process can be lengthy, often taking 3 or more days. Relations with the U.S. have worsened due to sanctions imposed in response to the military junta, further complicating travel. -9. Yemen, home to around 30 million people, has been ravaged by a civil war since 2015. The country faces widespread famine, disease, and a dire humanitarian crisis. The U.S. has been involved in the conflict, directly and indirectly, which has led to strained relations and distrust of American citizens. The visa process is exceptionally difficult, and ongoing terrorism and instability make travel highly unsafe. -8. Somalia, with a population of 15 million, is one of the most unstable countries in the world. Its central government struggles to maintain control, and militant groups like Al-Shabaab continue to pose significant threats. For Americans, the risks include kidnapping, terrorist attacks, and general lawlessness. The visa process is rigorous, and U.S. military involvement in the region has further fueled anti-American sentiment. -7. Venezuela, a South American nation with 28 million people, is known for its rich natural resources but has suffered years of economic collapse and political instability. Relations between the U.S. and Venezuela have been strained due to sanctions and political disputes. As a result, obtaining a visa can be challenging, and Americans may encounter hostility from locals who blame the U.S. for the country's hardships. -6. Libya, with its population of 7 million, remains a highly unstable country. Years of civil war and the presence of armed militias make it unsafe for travelers. The 2012 attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi marked a low point in U.S.-Libya relations, and tensions persist. Americans face a tough visa process, and security risks, including terrorism and crime, are major concerns. 5. Syria's a cultural and historical gem. Syria has been devastated by a prolonged civil war. Americans are advised against traveling to Syria due to risks like terrorism, kidnapping, and violent unrest. The visa process is extremely complicated, and U.S. foreign policies in the region have contributed to negative perceptions of Americans among locals. -4. Afghanistan remains one of the most dangerous countries in the world for Americans. Decades of conflict, including the U.S. military's presence and withdrawal, have left the country with deep mistrust of foreigners, particularly Americans. Security risks such as terrorism, wrongful detention, and kidnapping are rampant, and obtaining a visa is nearly impossible under current circumstances. -3. Iraq, with a population of 40 million, is a challenging destination for Americans. The U.S.-led invasion in 2003 and subsequent military actions have left a legacy of resentment. While it's possible to obtain a visa, the process is complex, and travelers must contend with significant security threats, including terrorist activity and civil unrest. -2. Iran has had strained relations with the U.S. since the 1979 Islamic Revolution and the hostage crisis. These tensions persist, with the U.S. imposing sanctions and Iran accusing America of interfering in its internal affairs. Americans face strict visa requirements, often waiting months for approval, and are at risk of detention or harassment. Despite its rich cultural heritage, travel advisories caution against visiting Iran. -1. North Korea tops the list of unwelcoming destinations for Americans. Since 2017, U.S. citizens have been prohibited from using their passports to travel there, except in rare cases. Those who manage to visit under special circumstances face heavy restrictions, constant surveillance, and the risk of detention. Political tensions between the two nations make North Korea one of the least accessible and most dangerous countries for Americans. Key takeaways: traveling as an American in 2024 may come with challenges in certain parts of the world. Factors like political tensions, security risks, and cultural differences play significant roles in shaping how U.S. citizens are perceived abroad. Before planning a trip to any of these countries, it's crucial to research and heed travel advisories to ensure your safety. Stay informed and travel smart. If you found this article helpful, let me know, or feel free to ask about specific travel tips.